Andreas here, and today I'm going to be talking to you guys about the 2022 release from Dragonbreed, Necrohedron. Before I get into the album, I just want to talk about the musicians behind this album, and I feel like it's a bit of a supergroup in my opinion. You got Arcadius, Sebastian Jensen, and Ken Jensen from Suidakra. You got Stefan Fiore doing vocals from Graveworm. You got former bassist of Suidakra on the first two albums, Krzysztof Zakharowski. And you got Sasha Osbach from Fall of Carthage doing some guest vocals here. And doing the artwork is, Suidakra's dude, Christopher Wim. So I feel like it's a bit of a supergroup in my opinion, but let's get into Necrohedron now. This kicks off with some melodic ferocity in The Undying. This is full of slick lead work surrounded by monstrous vocals, intense rhythms, and brutalizing drum work with occasional dynamic tom work with a little breather of acoustic guitar and some spoken word from Sasha Osbach. I really think there's a lot of great nuances in this one. I really like that sort of breakdown of the spoken word and acoustic guitar. Sort of separates the song a little bit, gives a bit of a dynamic and a bit of a hook as well, its own focal point. And then you slide back into that aggressiveness. So I really think The Undying is a great opening track to really grab the listener, and it's a really nice throwback to some old Suidakra and thrashing melodic death metal. Then we're moving on to Summoning the Arcane. This has a contrast to the guitar work. One moment it has a cool swagger, the next it's just an all-out blitz from the grinding rhythms, monstrous vocals from Stefan Fiore. I really felt the fiery lyrics, even with the fiery guitars and drums going on. Stefan Fiore really comes forward, emphasizes, gets his vocals in there, gets the lyrics in there. You really get to feel it even though everything is fiery. So I really think they do an awesome job on Summoning the Arcane. And then this next one, I love the mystic tone set in The World Beyond. This is such a rhythmic beast. The rhythms team with the drums create this really groovy sort of tone, and I really enjoyed the varying techniques and energy provided from by the drums here. The tom work, the thickness, the potency do so much, as well as I also like how the rhythms and the bass get a chance to be a focal point as well. I feel like they really rumble and go hand in hand with what the drums do, and then you got the lead work and the vocals doing their own thing. So you got quite a few different things being a little bit of a focal point. So there's a lot to soak up in The World Beyond. Now these next two tracks I decided to put together because I felt like they were their own chapters, but also sort of combined to make sort of like a mega chapter in Sinister Omen and Dawn of Calamity. They leapt out with a subtle difference in atmospheres and emotion, tones and moments. Each song spoke out and conveyed a different mood from the other tracks. The vocals and the lyrics come through quite a bit, giving both songs a real dynamic touch and making themselves sort of, like I said, their own chapter in this novel, but together they unite and make like this mega chapter in my opinion. The guitars, the drum work was sharp, very deep and technical, just really good back-to-back songs right in the middle of the album, and sort of separate not only the album but separate themselves from the rest of the album as well. So it makes like for this nice sort of flow. You got this a lot of aggression and intensity, but you also got a lot of dynamic atmosphere and emotions. I feel like that's where Sinister Omen and Dawn of Calamity sort of come in and shift those gears a little bit. Then I'm going to jump to Curse of the Forlorn. This harnesses so much strength. So this is where we get it back, that aggression picks back up, and it harnesses so much strength, that mix of grinding guitars and tom work all over the drums. I really like what Ken does, Jensen does all across the drum work to create this massive tone, and then you toss in Stefan Fiore's guttural, monstrous vocals, and you get this song that just devours. Really like this track, and it sort of picks up the pace a little bit, picks up the intensity as we head towards the rest of the album. And speaking of that, I don't want to spoil the whole album. I've talked about these songs quite a bit, and I usually do spoil the album a little bit too much, but then I don't want to. So anyways, I hope you guys check out Dragonbreed and Necrohedron. All the links will be down in the description below. Check out Suidakra as well. I've done quite a few videos on them. Maybe I'll post them up here for you guys to check out. So yeah, give Dragonbreed a listen, and if you're interested in some fierce aggression, fast intensity, this is the album for you. Just pure solid melodic death metal, full throttle. But like I said, it's got some twists with the atmosphere and emotions as well. And that's something that like Atlas 3 Doctor does really well. So you're not just getting bombarded, but it's good for that too if you want to scream down the highway. So until next time, folks, how about some screaming down the highway?